Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this AxisVM version 5 training course. And the topic we are going to talk about today, it is something called stories. I've opened a model that came with the examples of the software, and the intention it is to show you this capability. So this model is a several floor model. They have done already an analysis. In this particular case, we have the result of a vibration analysis. It's not important for what we want to see today. It's simply to have this idea of having more than one floor in our model. So we can see this model in several ways, as you know already. We can do it in wireframes. We can turn this on like this, so it's up to you to see it. It does not influence what we want to check with the stories. So basically, stories, you can assess it in two ways. First one is to click in this icon. We will have this dialog box, and we can assess stories also doing Control R, which I will do now. And I should have, I'm not sure if I can get it because I'm recording the video, probably not, or simply because we have this turn it on. Let us try now. No, because of the video, probably I will not get this function. Anyway, let me turn this on again. So we can get this function with this icon in the main toolbar on top. So stories are simply a function that turn the handling of the software easier to overview and to allow addition of the model. It's simply a way which you can work what you have in your screen, where we can select, or if you want a better word, to filter what you see in each moment. And this filter, it is a filter done in work planes that are parallel to the global XY plane. So we give Z positions, and then we work with the functions to turn off or turn on what we want. At this moment in this list, this dialog box, I will put this a little apart, open again the stories. So we don't have anything, and I will create several stories, and I will do them by position in Z meters, so 0, 3 meters, 6 meters, whatever. So turn first one on, ground floor at 0 position. I will create a new one at 3. I will create a new one at 6, and I have a couple of floors, so I will not create anything else. Then I have a couple of commands that allow me to do several things. First one, it is these two functions here that allow me to number the stories, so I can renumber by one order or the other. Basically, in the left one is numbering of stories from the bottom, the other one is from the top. Okay, we have this possibility. It's not pretty much important. Then we have this function here, which allow us to see from the floor we are considering as current from top or below. Let us try to turn one on. So I will say which one I want to be the current one, so it can be the story 2. Okay, and now I will say let us see below. Okay, and below it's all of them. But if I want, for example, ground floor to see, and I want to see them below or top, I can do things like this. Okay, I can add also, because the ground floor, you see, I'm missing one of the things. I can add 1 minus 3 also below, and now I can see below, or I can see above. So it's basically what we want. I can turn off the stories, okay, and then I see all my model, and in this button, as you saw, I can choose which one it is the current one. I can delete stories also, so I can delete one if I want. For example, this one I can delete it. I will edit again now because I wanted to have it here. And I have also this function here, which allow me to find the story somewhere. Okay, I don't have anything to find out, so no big issue. I can also give a different name to each one of the stories. So if I click in one of these guys and then click with my right mouse button, I can rename it and give it a different name if I want. Okay, I have the opportunity to restore default name, so it's another possibility. And finally, I have a couple of functions below to make the refresh. So this one, it will be auto refresh. I can do a refresh all in all windows. I can show all lines and elements. If a story is activated, all slabs, wall columns, beams, and so on will be displayed automatically. And I have a couple of functions. This one, it is not turn it or accessible because it's downgraded, but it is usually displayed to find supporting walls and columns. So this option hides slabs and beams on the neighboring of the story, so it's not this particular case. And finally, this function here, it is to project all detected coordinates to the base level of the story. So when we choose one story, these coordinates will be projected to the base level. So this is a way to handle this. I can try another thing because sometimes it's a little easier to understand when we start to deal with these stories. So if you already understood that is basically to handle information, it's not particularly used for creating thing or does not have to do with the analysis itself. So again, let's try to make a couple of things around here. So you see that I can manage the display like this through the stories that are defined. So I think this is a very nice function to help you handling the geometry you have in your screen. If there is any help or any additional clarification needed for a better understanding of this functionality, let us know. But it is important also to pass this idea that we have complementary topics in our theoretical lesson that it's available in our online platform. So if you wish to access this platform, let us know and we will give you all the necessary information so that you can have access to this information.